And here we are again. Welcome back to the show. This is the Whiskey Cowboy Live again, part 2. We had a lot of glitches, issues. YouTube was screwing up, and then my system started screwing up. So we have restarted, and now we are waiting for folks to join the show again. So if you are catching this as your first episode of this show, it's not. It's part 2. Deuce. Dos. Number 2. Go back and catch the first hour. The first hour is still up there, but I had to shut that down. Now we're waiting for everybody to jump back in. Oh, goodness gracious. So we'll wait here. Stream health is good. Analytics up and running. Zoom meeting up and running. Show up and running and broadcasting. Getting hot in the studio. But I haven't turned on the fan. You notice my nose hasn't itched till I say it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we're just waiting for the folks to funnel back in. They should be arriving any time now, being that... There we go. There we go. There we go. Folks are coming in. Welcome back. Things seem to be going good. Excellent connection, it says. Excellent connection. No drop frames. So we got here. Send Gus a message. Let him know I've rebooted and now rebroadcasting. Chocolate caramel brownie from Cameron's is tonight's coffee. Judy's back. She says, welcome back. Welcome back to you too, Judy. Welcome back, Kata. Waiting for everybody else to shuffle on in. Signs back up. Open sign. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Took us, almost 10 minutes to get that up and running. Then I started my streaming software, and it's like, hey, you want to update? It's like, no, not now. I'll do it tomorrow. Now, where were we? Oh, we got a warship, U.S. warship, and then some commercial vessels that were attacked out in the, Mediterranean someplace. Oh, no, there might be escalating. There should be no escalating shit. They should have been wiped out. Whoever attacked them should be wiped out. No escalation. No escalation at all. Don't attack U.S. warships. What happened? I don't know. I just saw a blurb about it. Let's pull this up. Was it off the coast of Yemen? It's the Red Sea. U.S. warship and commercial vessels attacked in Red Sea. Let's see what News Australia has to say about it.
And no one can help. It pays to be prepared. Keep this in your glove box.
On the Middle East conflict, with the Pentagon confirming a US warship has come under attack in the Red Sea. 9 Europe correspondent Edward Godfrey is following developments. Edward, rebels have taken responsibility for the attack.
They have, Lara, but as is often the case in this broader conflict, there are some differing views about what exactly has happened. This is a developing story. There has been a serious exchange of fire between US naval forces and Yemen's Houthi militants. There's no doubt about that. The details keep coming in. A Pentagon spokesman has said the warship USS Carney and commercial vessels were targeted in the Red Sea. The Carney shooting down a drone heading its way. That's while it was responding to a distress call from a civilian commercial vessel. During this exchange, it also shot down a number of other drones and 3 cruise missiles. Yemen's Houthis say they targeted 2 Israeli ships. This is the same group that hijacked an Israeli-linked cargo ship in the Red Sea last month. A short time ago, a Pentagon official spoke.
We are certainly taking appropriate force protection measures to ensure the safety of our troops. Again, I'm not going to get into specifics. Clearly, this is an uptick in terms of the types of drone activity we've seen in Iraq and Syria.
All of this while the Israel-Hamas war continues to rage on. That truce, which fell over at the end of last week, a distant memory for so many people. Airstrikes have continued on Gaza. Rockets still being fired into Israeli territory. Since fighting resumed late last week,
Okay, now they're on to other things. But yeah, so there you have it, Judy. It's like, no, just wipe them out. Just wipe them out. The fuck? No need for that. No need for that at all. Yeah, just more Middle Eastern crap. So we'll see what happens on that. We should just wipe them out. It's just tired. You attack vessels on the open sea in international water. You get hellfire is what you get, or damn well be what you should get. And not just shoot down their drones. Shoot down their cruise missiles that have been shot at you. No. And what are these rebels? How the hell do these rebels get drones and cruise missiles and shit? It's like, stop it. Stop it. Okay, who else is out there? We got some people out there talking. You're welcome, Judy. Got any other news going on here? Let me check out the Associated Press. Prestimonies. Oh, Santos was expelled. How about that? How about that clown show? Santos was expelled. Like I posted up on Facebook. I don't mind that he's expelled. What I mind is he's the only one that's expelled. Now, he has not been convicted of anything. We know he did this stuff. He's a complete shit show. And so now he's gone. Bipartisan support. They kicked him out of Congress. But why the hell aren't they kicking out more people? That's what I have a problem with. Oh, so they go after the shitbird Republican, but not the Democrats? They got a shit ton of Democrats that they need to get booted too. Let's have a vote on them. Like if you're a terrorist supporter, if you spout lies and you try to divide the American people on the floor of Congress. Maxine Waters, yeah. she's up there. Her, the squad. Hell, the guy that pulled the fire alarm. Boot him too. He pled guilty. And he's still there. Get his ass out of there. I mean, let's start doing things. Don't do this, what a brave and noble thing that you did. No, you didn't. You picked a weak target. Because remember in the Tennessee legislature when they booted 2 of the 3 clowns out, and then everybody was screaming to high heaven, "Oh no, you can't do that. That's terrible," because they were Democrats. But that was in Tennessee, not in the federal legislature. But we need to do that shit in the federal legislature. Let's clean house. I'm tired of this hogwash. Yeah, Maxine Waters openly advocating, getting in people's faces, telling them that they're not wanted, get them kicked out of restaurants. I mean, really? Really? That's how we do things, huh? The Squad going after it, and they're anti-American and anti-U.S. rhetoric. Stop it. So I don't get, if you're in the legislature of a particular country and you're talking shit about that country, how the hell does that make sense? Donna says this should open it up for anyone now. Right, the sword's been drawn. It's the first time this has ever happened. And without actually being charged with a crime or convicted of a crime. So it opens the door. But like I said, let's see whether you want to impress me. Let's start swinging it. Let's start swinging it, and not just to shitbird Republicans. Let's start cleaning house no matter what political party they're in. This isn't just for simple political disagreements and stuff. I'm talking about there's people out there that have done some genuine stuff that they should be removed from Congress over. So let's do it. Let's do it. And while we're at it, let's get rid of most of the qualified immunity bullshit too. I posted up about that last week. I posted up about people think that qualified immunity basically only happens for police officers. It doesn't. It doesn't. Judges, politicians, police. There's a whole shitload of things that are qualified immunity. Let's dial that shit back. Dial it back. Sue them if they lie. I don't care if they lied in the furtherance of their job. They were acting on what they thought was the best interest of their constituents. Fuck that. No. It's not a blanket to do whatever the hell you want to do. Well, it is now. See, the press has been, the mainstream media has been hit by a lot of lawsuits over the past few years, and they're losing as well. Defamation and shit like that. Oh, we're just reporting shit. No, you're not. No, you're not. You should be held accountable for the lies that you spew and lies that you knew were damn lies. Because I'll tell you what, common Joe civilian out there, or Betsy civilian, boy, they get the hammer dropped on them for damn near everything. Everything. Same way with criminals. Criminals get a slap on the wrist for violating your rights, committing crimes. You protect yourself using your rights, and you could end up in prison. So what the hell is up with that? So fuck it, then the laws don't mean anything. Laws are supposed to affect and keep things in line, not harm law-abiding citizens. But here we are. So how's the signal for everybody? Coming in nice and clean again? Everything looks good here. So now Santos is gone. Trying to look up some more. Donna says, much better. Absolutely. Fantastic. Fantastical. Group of swing state Muslims vow to ditch Biden in 2024 over his war stance. Yeah, because they want, you know what? The Muslims don't give two shits about Muslims unless the Muslims are attacking Jews. Plain and simple. The Muslims don't love each other. They've been fighting each other since Islam became a thing. They began fighting themselves. Muslims don't give two shits about Muslims unless it's fighting the Jews. Palestine. You Muslims are so together, right? Why don't you take the people from Gaza and take them into your countries? Well, we've covered that before. They don't, because they're a bunch of shitbirds, and everybody knows it. The whole Muslim world knows that the Palestinians are just a bunch of troublemakers. Oh my goodness! I didn't say all Muslims are troublemakers. I could, because I know their goals and I know their tactics, but that's not what I was saying. I was saying the Palestinians, specifically from Gaza, are a bunch of troublemakers. That's why nobody wants them. Egypt doesn't want them. Jordan doesn't want them. Syria doesn't want them. Nobody wants them. Why? Because they start shit. You don't believe me? Do the research. This is why everybody, claims that, oh, this and that, and people don't know what it. No, you don't know. Do the research. Do the research. Name one Muslim country with anything other than a token Jewish presence in it. Most of them don't even have that. They don't even have a token Jewish presence in it. Yet Israel has everybody in it. Get us the Israelis who are wrong? Shut up. No. What else we got going on here? Sandra Day O'Connor, 93 years old. She died of complications of, what was it? It was dementia. Complications of dementia. Sandra Day O'Connor, considered a moderate conservative. No. She was a left-leaning moderate. She was a darling of the right, yes. But she ruled, a lot of her votes were cast in what we all know now is just not. She voted in favor of affirmative action. She voted in favor of abortion. There's a bunch of stuff that she voted in favor of that's now been overturned. But she was the first female. What was it? 1981, I believe it is. 1980. Stop saying, wow, we didn't have a female on the bench in the Supreme Court of the United States until 1981. I believe Reagan appointed her. She resigned. Her husband was, I'm trying to think of it. Her husband was suffering from Alzheimer's. So she resigned the bench to take care of him. She was the daughter of a rancher. She's a country gal, cowgirl. She did not consider herself a feminist. In fact, said the opposite. She said, I'm not a feminist. Didn't mean that she's not for equal rights or stuff like, but she wasn't a feminist. And she made that proclamation way back, way back before modern feminism really took a hold. So, yeah. Sandra Day O'Connor paved the way. Well, they say pave the way. I don't. She paved the way for other female justices. Pave the way. What? Pave the way. I don't get it. Pave the way. No. She didn't pave anything. She just sat on the bench. Times were changing around her. She wasn't. It was just a natural evolution. And like with a lot of things, female CEOs and stuff like that, a lot of it just happens to be timing. Timing. How long have they been in these particular positions for? Why were they in these positions and how long? And they finally made their way up. Broke the glass ceiling. The glass ceiling. There is no glass. Look, they haven't had a glass ceiling since the 1960s. I know some people would argue with that. Well, go ahead, argue with somebody, but we didn't. It's just a matter of sheer numbers. Who's in the workforce at any given time and how the workforce changes over time. Natural progression of things. Now we've got a let's fuck shit up. Try to overcompensate and then you end up with diversity hires. Stop it. No, you want the best for the job. Screw what, I don't care what their ethnicity is. I don't care what their gender is. Unless that is critical for the job. Most jobs it's not critical. Get the women out of the police departments. It's like, oh my God. Oh, John's going there. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. Now, that doesn't mean that a lot of the guys shouldn't be kicked out, too. They should. I'm an advocate of get those who should not be in that position out of the position. That includes the vast majority of females and a shit ton of guys. Either because they can't do the job or they are not suited for the job. They're just thugs behind a badge. Get them out. Get back to dispatch and get back to being the meter maid. It's not a derogatory, it's a useful job. It's a useful job. Do it. Don't interact with criminals. Don't do that. You're going to get your shit kicked. You see the video. Where the hell was that video? Was it in Las Vegas? Where was it? It was the four female officers. They're trying to arrest this guy. He's not even a big guy. 4 female officers, and he just shrugs them off and walks away. It's like, wow, what the hell? Stop it. Men and women are not the same. Don't put them in positions that rely on somebody's good graces. Because if that's the case, if the female officer all kitted up relies on the good graces of the public to do what she tells them to do, you might as well put a 12-year-old in there, right? It's the same damn thing. No. Stop it. Yeah, just like combat arms. Oh, the Israeli army has females in it. Yeah, and most of it is publicity. And they're not serving where the guys are serving. Stop it. You know what happens to a female out on a battlefield? It's not sexist to want them not to be involved in that shit. And they're a detriment to everybody in their unit. The dynamics in a group with men and women changes substantially as soon as you add a female. Period. Oh. I'm just pointing it out. I didn't make this shit up. It's just the way it is. Why? Because men and women are different. Seen it. You can see it online. Get a group. Cars. Hunting. Video games. Whatever. I don't care. And most of it's dudes. And start injecting women into it. And watch what happens to the group. Watch what happens. Now, that doesn't mean that men and women shouldn't share spaces. They should. But we should be smart about it. And I do think that there is a valid reason and purpose for an all-woman space. and likewise for an all-male space. Males act differently among males than they do when a female's around. There is an energy, there is an electricity. There's shit that happens. The same way as adults that have any sense in their brains act differently when there's children around than when they do when just adults are out just by themselves. To a lesser degree, we don't see that as much as we should, but that's the way it's always been. Oh, you sexist. Yeah, okay. Okay. But I'll tell you what. You can make a choice. You can call me a sexist. Think I'm bigoted. Yeah, fair enough. Do it. But when shit hits the fan, or when you need shit really done, you need honest solutions and honest answers. Do you want me, or do you want that simping snake that's just going to tell you what you want to hear? Because he thinks that's what's going to get him into your pants. You can make the choice. Those slimy guys on the left, oh my goodness. Watch out. Watch out. But yeah. Okay, what else we got going on here? We got There was something else. There was something else in the news that was pretty big, and I can't remember what it is. Okay, news on the White House. Court has paused federal policy allowing abortion clinic operators to get grants, but only in Ohio. They shouldn't get grants at all. No grants. Here's an interesting thing. EVs. Now the big five are still making, they're quote unquote still making, and they're still researching EVs. But at least Ford and GM have both pretty much shut down their production lines for EVs, from what I hear. And they state because nobody's buying them. The government made this big push, and then they jumped on the bandwagon. They should have just said, screw you, when the government made this push for something. It's not the government's job to be pushing this shit. In Europe, it's supposed to be like, what, 2030? They're not supposed to have any brand new fossil fuel vehicles. Now, you can have the ones that are currently made, but by 2030, they're not going to be making any more fossil. How is that going to work? How exactly is that going to work? How are you going to charge everything? And then if you have a power outage, how the hell are you going to actually get shit done if everything is EVs? It doesn't make sense. I'm not a guy that's against the technology. I'm against forcing the technology before it's ready or it's a viable solution. EVs will never be a viable solution for every need. But you know, if you live in a say you live in a city and they make the EVs small, and then they control the power. So, yeah. See, the more you rely on something else, and this is all a reliance issue. For a gas vehicle, you're not relying on the government. You're not relying upon a power grid. It's like, hey, you just buy your shit from whatever company's out there selling it. And there's not an infrastructure for it like there is for electricity, because it doesn't work that way. How about the fact that if your shit runs out of gas, like I said, the only way that you can make EVs similar to petroleum-based products is if you replace the entire battery, like you do with your power tools. You got your battery, right? And the battery goes dead. You don't. Most people, they got more than one battery. So instead of going, I got to put this whole thing in the charger and wait for 2-3 hours while it charges, you just go, no, I'm going to put this battery into a charger. I'm going to take an already charged battery and I'm going to put it in the tool, and then you're off and running. Until they can do that with vehicles, there's no way that they can compete and be as viable as a petroleum-based vehicle. They just can't do it. It's a logistical thing. It's not you're bigoted. No, it's a logistical thing. It doesn't work like that. And then you've got to get everything the same, like power tools. At least we've got it now where brands, at least you get the same types of batteries. And I believe there are some carryovers. But it's got to be like that with vehicles too. They're all using the same. So you could just pull up. The machine comes up, takes the battery out, drops it down, brings a new battery, pops it in, and you go on your way. Until that can happen, this charging shit, it doesn't work. It's not gonna be viable. So what do you all think about that? Oh, another thing that was in the news. Go ahead and comment on the EV and the batteries. The Texas Attorney General is suing Pfizer over false advertising. So I brought that up too, remember, because they were doing that shit in Florida, and they're attacking it from other areas because the federal government gave them amnesty from legal issues involving the jabs. From the jabs. Yeah, see? So if you get injured, you can't sue Pfizer and Moderna and those other ones. You can't do that because they had immunity. I think it's bullshit. There's a lot of different reasons for it. But they didn't grant them immunity from false representation of their product. And now they're going to get hammered. Good on them. Good on them. Let's see what we got going on here. House Republicans consider holding a formal vote to authorize their Biden impeachment inquiry. Yeah, go ahead and do it. It's fine. They've got him on bribery. That's another thing. They got him dead to rights on bribery. And other things, but okay, folks. You didn't tell me what you think about those EVs and the batteries. What you thinking? So I'm a big proponent of technologies. I've said this all along. I think if you've got an off-grid property and you can run wind, solar, shit like that, and you can make it work for you, maybe have a gas generator backup, great. Good on you. Great. I think it has its purpose. I don't think that we're not ready to do that on a mass scale. Judy says, hate that. They are junk. Yeah, I just don't think they're ready. The technology's awesome. Some of the fastest cars out there now are either completely EV or they're hybrid. I believe the new Tacoma is hybrid. It's got the gas engine. It's got a electric motor, which the gas engine, I believe, charges the electric, and it helps with their power output. And it's really great. It's got good applications. But you don't have to charge the damn thing. The engine charges it. It's use the correct application. I'd love to live off grid. And if you live off grid, you need alternative energy sources. But then you have to know if it rains a lot or if it's snowy in the wintertime, you're not going to get as good a charge. And I mean, there's all sorts of factors that go in there. People are getting solar panels on their houses all the time. We got approached. We got a good southern roof. Don't think we're going to do it because it's at the point right now where we're going to break even. And then if we sell the place, well, they're going to have to pick up the payments on the solar panels, or we're going to have to pay them off. So it's like, no. If I was 20 and just bought this house and I was going to stay here 30, 40 years, that's fine. But again, I am all for using whatever you can use, but forcing that on people and in situations where it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Donna says all the car reviews say to stay away from the plug-in hybrids. The regular hybrids are good. Right. Yeah, stay away from the plug-in hybrids. The regular hybrids are fine. Anything that you have to plug in, don't do it. Don't do it. Judy says, oh my Lord, y'all, I have been wearing my shirt backwards all day. I worked like this. Well, hopefully it's not a shirt like this with a collar on. If it is, girl, you need a vacation. You need a vacation. But no, I've worn T-shirts backwards. And you go, not usually a whole day, but you go, man, it's hitting on my neck someplace that it just shouldn't. It's a little tighter. Yeah. Hey, idiot, your shirt's on backwards. As long as it's not a button-up. Hey, that's pretty talented. If you can wear a button-up shirt backwards all day, that's something. Yeah, I forgot about it. Does anybody know off the top of their head why the hell men and women's clothes are buttoned on the opposite sides? I forgot all about that. Let's find out. Let's find out here. Okay, well, this is what it says. I don't know whether this is correct. While white rich men, I'm sorry, rich people don't come in just white, so throw that away. Often dress themselves. Their female family members most likely had servants to help put on their clothes, both out of luxury and necessity. To make it easier for servants to button up their employer's dresses right, clothes might have started sewing buttons on the opposite side. Didn't clothiers? No, stop it. Well, that's what Donna says, because someone else had to button it for them. So because women had help for a lot of different reasons getting dressed, it was easier to, and men dressed themselves. Yeah, I guess it's, and most people are right-handed, so yeah, okay. We'll go there. Yeah, wealthy women didn't dress themselves, blah, 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 blah. But see, under that same thing, shouldn't children's clothes all be buttoned on the opposite side as well? Donna says that she does need a vacation. It's a long sleeve T-shirt. Yeah, I take it did not have a tag on it. But yeah, you'd think that children's clothes should all be buttoned, and then when you became a man and you can dress yourself, then it's on the other side, or a teen. Back in the Renaissance and stuff like that. In fact, probably up into the 1800s, a lot of times, the children's clothes. Yeah, Judy says no tag. Children's clothes, it's unisex. They all wore like dresses. They weren't really dresses, but yeah, dresses. Both the guys and the girls did. Not a quinky dink. I had something else in my head. I did. I was going to bring it up, and I forgot about it. Damn it. The hell was I going to bring up? What was I going to bring up? I don't know. I do not know what I was going to say. It was good too. It was really good. It was really good. I don't know what the hell I was going to bring up. Was it the buttons? No, it wasn't the buttons. It wasn't the buttons. I don't know. I'm like Gus. I lost the train. I think what the hell I was going to talk about. Yeah, good food, good steak and eggs. Yeah. Well, dang. Yeah, I know, Judy. I had it. It was right there. It was like it was ready to go, and it's like, what the hell what was I gonna say? We talked about the EVs. We talked about buttoning up your shirts. And whatever it was, it had nothing to do with that. It had absolutely nothing to do with that. It was funny. I mean, for the next days. Hey, thanks for joining the show. It was a great show last night. It wasn't a great show tonight, but I've been taking screen captures. It's funny, man. The frames you can stop on. It's like, holy cow. We're a species not meant to be looked at in snapshots. It's a fluid thing. Man. Yeah. We got coming up this week. Damn, it's December already. I got to figure out what I want to do for a tree this year. Don't know. Y'all have your trees up yet? Peggy says, "Hi, John. I've been listening for a while now. I just wanted to comment that hydrogen-powered engines have been around for 70 years. But the technology has varied by." Yeah, it's not just the oil companies. They're a convenient scapegoat. But yeah, hydrogen is and I've talked about that. I think that hydrogen is really the way to go as opposed to EVs. There's a lot of different benefits from it. I've said that for a while. I even wrote up an article, what was it, 2 years ago? Who's been following me a while? I wrote an article about hydrogen versus EVs. And I've always said, yeah, I think hydrogen is the way to go. It's not just, if it was only the oil companies burying things. There's a lot more to it. Well, that's like, EVs. There's nothing new. The first vehicles were electric vehicles. What the hell are you talking about? EVs are not a new technology. How we're implementing it and stuff, that may be new, but it's not a new technology. Peggy says, I think that it's Toyota working on it now. Wouldn't surprise me. I think some of the big three should be working on that stuff too. Get that ready. Because they're realizing that the EV market's a bust. People don't want them. It's too expensive. It's too unreliable. Too many safety issues. Stop listening to the government and stop listening to greenies. Excuse me. Listen to what your customers. I bring this up all the time. Remember back in the 90s when the government was trying to kill the full-size pickup truck and SUV markets? It's about all you see is SUVs and pickup trucks of all sizes. I'm really glad that they're starting to bring back the mid-size market, though. That's a smart move. Because most people don't need a full-size truck. They need a mid-size truck. Does what they need to do. Unless you have a reason, you got a ranch or you got, whatever. Most people that you need a bed. That's fine. But mid-size truck's good enough for what they need to do. So I'm really glad to see that the mid-size market is really expanding on those trucks. Yeah, the oil companies get a bad rap on a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're not all great, but they're not the demon that most people think they are. Plus, everything we do in life, there's very few. You look around you, probably half the stuff that you can touch. Just right now, just reach out and touch some stuff. Probably at least half of it has petroleum-based products in it. So I get a kick out of it. We're gonna protest these oil companies, these offshore drilling platforms on our plastic kayaks. It's like, you're a retard. Stop it. But yeah, Toyota's new Tacoma, all new this time, is a hybrid, but it's not plug-in hybrid. It's just a hybrid. Yeah, the electric motors have a huge potential. Some of the fastest vehicles out there are electric. A lot of the exotics, but you can't use them. You're going to use them for, good for you. You can go a mile faster than anybody else out there. Yeah, okay. Good on you. You're not going to use it to get groceries. You're not going to use it to go back and forth to work. You're not going to use it to haul lumber. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. Hauling shit. Yeah, Donna says going to be a lot of naked people running around. Right. So much shit in your clothing is like a poly blend and stuff like that. It's like, man, there's this. We use this resource for a lot of stuff. Hauling shit. The trains, the diesel trains, most diesel trains, they're not diesel. The diesel isn't running them. The diesel is charging and running electric engines. So it's really an electric train getting the electricity from the diesel engines. Much like what submarines used to do. The diesel submarines charge the batteries. So there is good uses for things. Yeah, a lot of naked people right now. We're in a point in time where, yeah, sorry, we don't need more naked people running around. No. Maybe if we were Sparta, like, we're not. No, we're gonna have like Lizzo and bless them. But we don't need to be prancing. I don't want to be prancing around naked. No. Nope. Been to a nude beach before. I wasn't nude. It was over in Germany. That's a European thing. I mean, they have them in the States too. Topless is very, very common in Europe and the Mediterranean. Nude, yeah, they got nude beaches places. God forbid Lizzo, yeah. Oh my goodness. Look, I don't have a problem. As a generality. Lizzo, be what you want to be. I have a problem with the lies and the glorification. You ain't Farrah Fawcett. You're not. You're not even Marilyn Monroe, for crying out loud. It's not. We've talked about this. There's nothing wrong. There's health issues, but there's nothing wrong per se with being out of the norm. But there's a reason for a norm. You don't glorify things that are going to compound over somebody's lifetime. Lizzo's doing fine because she's young, but I don't think she's doing as fine as she thinks she is. But you wait till Lizzo hits 60, and she's been carrying that weight for 50 years. No. And oh my God, it's not fat phobic. Bodybuilders are the same damn way. Your frame is designed to carry a certain amount of weight. That isn't changed because the weight is now muscle. No, you're going to have joint problems. You're going to have organ problems. You're going to have all the same shit because all that stuff needs blood too. We're designed to work within a range. Within a range. Yeah, if she makes it that long, if she makes it to 60. Because she's not just a big girl. She's morbidly obese. You don't say that, oh, how dare you say, no, it is. It's a clinical diagnosis. And stop and think about it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, okay? But her relative beauty from being young is also going to, it's not kind on women. It's not kind on women. You will not have the same value and appeal to a broad range of people at 60, 70, and 80 years old that you had at 20 and 30. It's not kind on women. But youth is not kind on men. Men don't gain their worth until they hit 30, 40, 50. We've just swapped things around. Know what it is. It is what it is. Trying to buck the system and try to claim that things aren't the way they are. And why? It's for the procreation of the species. If you're a male in a world where males die and you've made it, you've got some good genes, or you're really lucky. Women are designed to have children from the time they're 16, 17, on up to 40. They can have it later. They can. But there's health issues. There is quality issues. Yes, the eggs can have issues. This is biology. It's not bigotry. I hate it when you speak biology and people think it's bigotry. It's not. It's biology. And lying to yourself doesn't change things, and it makes things worse. Same ways we talked about this on the show before. Men are not women. Don't act like men. Or men are, if you're a woman, don't act like a man. You listen to all of those women who ran around like horn dog men. And then they look back and they go, I always felt like shit. I was never really validated. My reputation was ruined. I felt like crap. I was depressed all the time. Yes, because men and women don't look at things the same way. You try to act like a man about certain things, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the same result. The guy's going, woo, whatever. We're hardwired different. Women are hardwired to find the best genes for their offspring. Thank God. Because men aren't. Men are hardwired to just give their genes. There you go. Spread that shit around. Women aren't. Women's resources are finite. Men's aren't. Our resources are the same. Yes, the quality of our sperm goes down, yes. But our resources are pretty much the same. We don't stop. Could be 110 years old and still father a child. As a man, not as a woman. It takes a lot out of a woman. She gets pregnant, it's 9 months. And it wreaks holy hell with her body. Bless you. Bless you. Thank God for this miracle. Oh, so women are better. No, try to have a fucking baby without a man. It's not a competition. It's a collaboration. It's a partnership. Which is why marriage has been so important to every freaking culture, or damn near every culture, ever known in history. Because it protects women and the resources they need. But let's get rid of the nuclear family, part ways, and just do all. It's like, no, stop it. Stop it. Marriage is not about love. Yes, love is important. It's not about love. If you think that you are always going to be in love, that comes and goes. Yes, it comes and it goes and it comes back again. It's marriage in a relationship takes maintenance. Maintenance. It's not just wind it up, let it go, and you don't have to fucking do anything. What do you think? Gee, you got the Twitchels and the chubbies when you were dating somebody because you were sexually charged around them. Yes, that's part of the process. And then you get together, and then you work in, and then it's about other things. It's about survival. It's about being a team. It's about a partnership. Pick the right person, not just the one that makes you feel good. It's important. Yeah, it's important. It's damn important. But there's other shit involved in there. Raise your kids, raise them right. It's a partnership. It's not a competition. And you can't both be the boss. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't mean that you're going to be domineering over the other person and be a tyrant and shit like that. But you can't have two kings. No kingdom can have two kings. So it means you get rid of the kings. Somebody's going to be a king. I can guarantee you. You ever see a couple where neither of them take charge? They know what the fuck they're doing. Lost, rudderless. You ever see a couple where they both think they're the boss? Yeah, see how that fucking works out. And here's another thing. There are some dominant women. There have been throughout history. But as a rule, and not being dominant doesn't mean being weak. Men don't want a weak woman. They want a strong partner. But they don't want a fucking boss. Most of them don't want a boss. That boss bitch? No. No. Oh, you can't handle that. No, I can handle plenty. I ain't going to deal with it. So don't do that. There's a reason we're hardwired differently. Hardwired differently. take advantage of how we're hardwired. And it doesn't mean that the man's going to be abused. No, a good man is going to take into account his spouse and his children. He's going to do what's best. He's going to do what's best. It's not just about the man. Here you go. Here's the whole thing. Oh, gee, you look at the 50s and like the sitcoms, and the father would come home and like Leave It to Beaver and stuff, and the father would come home. He just come home and she's June Cleaver. She's gonna give him his drink and his coffee or whatever, and take his shoes off. You know, typical thing. He's gonna sit down. He's gonna read his paper, and everybody goes, "Look, it's all about the man. It's all about the man." Oh, is it? Was it really all about the man? What was that man doing before he came in through the door? Was he being served? I'm going to go down to the park and I'm going to feed pigeons, and I'm going to have the servants come up here and feed me caviar. And no, he's out working. He's out working. Treat your man like a man. Cater to him. Let him know he's appreciated. That's another. People don't appreciate shit anymore. Let your man know that you appreciate him. Don't talk shit about him. Even if you're all going to argue. You're not going to get along sometimes. Don't talk shit about him. He's your man. When you talk shit about your partner, you're talking shit about yourself, because you know what? You chose that partner. Think about it. Now, what I'm saying here goes in reverse as well. Treat your woman like a queen. In my house. Whoever's up first makes the coffee. Pretty simple. Whoever's up first makes the coffee. If you go out into the other room, you say, "Is there something I can get for you?" Something I can get for you? You want to serve the other person. You just don't want to be a servant. You don't want them to be your servant. You don't want a servant. You want a partner. You want to serve them and they serve you. And you want joy. Make a sandwich. Make your man a sandwich. He'll be happy. You made something. You gave it to him. He's happy. He's fulfilled. He doesn't have the hangries anymore. He's easier to live with. Oh my God, that's sexist. No, that's using your noggin. That's using your noggin. Yeah. Somebody's having a bad day. They come in, you're going to take it out on your partner. Stop it. Don't do that. Say, what's wrong? Hey. Yeah, the world sucks, and we are on a team. We're team fuck the world. Team fuck the world. Yeah. I think it's a competition. If you married somebody being in competition, you're stupid. You're stupid. What a miserable way to live your life. I'm the boss. That's another. You should never have to tell anybody who the boss is. You know who the boss is. Men defer. Men defer to women on most everything. Sadly, today women think, "Oh, that means I'm the boss." No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It means the man is taking into consideration what you think is important. And you're generally going to be dealing with things that he does not put that much importance in the big picture, because he's dealing with other stuff. It's a partnership. You're partners. You're not competitors. This world's all screwed up. You find yourself a good man or you find yourself a good woman, and it's like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way, right? And nobody's perfect. you're going to fuck up. You're going to say mean shit. And you're going to have mean shit said to you. Yeah. Nature of humanity. Try to minimize that shit. End it as soon as possible. When you see yourself, and it can get hard. It can get hard. When you see yourself going into that, and that cycle is just running, and shit's just getting wound up tighter and tighter, and shit's getting meaner and meaner, fucking end it. Say, I'm not doing this. Because by the time that happens, it's usually nothing. Then you're arguing and bitch pissing and moaning about shit that was not even close to what you started with. It's just, you're just all energy, balls of anger and frustration. Anger and frustration. And just know the other person's full of that anger and frustration too. We're always meanest to the ones we care the most about. It's a horrible thing of human nature. Horrible. Try to rise above it. It's fine. It's a good thing about human nature, too, is we can rise above. We can rise above. So do that. Rise above. Most of the time, even if somebody's got it coming, a lot of times I'll feel bad about giving it to them, even if they got it coming. Not always. Sometimes like, yeah, it's good. But more so when somebody's got it coming and they just can't grasp it and they got it. It's like, man, it's a shame it came down to that. It's a shame it came down to that. Wish you wouldn't have. But you did. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah. Yep. Everybody trying to dominate everybody. Stop that. Stop that. How about this? Instead of trying to dominate everybody, just defend yourself. I'm a yielder. I'm in your house. It's your kingdom. I don't care if I'm older than you. I don't care if I am wealthier than you. I don't care if I'm more intelligent than you. I don't care if I'm better looking than you. It's probably the case. I'm just kidding. No. No, I don't care. It's your house. It's your house. I don't care if it's a rundown shack. It's your house. Likewise, it's my house. Respect that it's my house. You don't have to agree with me. Respect that it's my house, my kingdom. Don't shit on a man in his kingdom. Don't shit on a man or a woman in front of her spouse. Don't shit on a man or a woman in front of their children. Unless they got it coming. But that's always a reaction to, not a go-to. Just try to show respect for other people. Said that too about jobs. The janitor is just as important as the CEO. Yes, the resource allocation will be different. Yes. Doesn't mean one's more or less important than the other. Have the janitor not work for 2 weeks. See what happens. Tell me they're not useful. They're very useful. They're not 6 figures a year useful, but they're useful. They have a place. And because that place isn't resource allocated the same, doesn't mean they as a person are less than somebody else. How they act dictates their worth, not their occupation, not their tax bracket. You can make $350,000, $600,000, $1 million a year and be a complete soup sandwich and a complete disgrace to humanity. And you can sweep the streets. And you can open doors for people. And be a shining beacon of humanity. You choose by your action, not by your resources. So treat everybody like that. I treat people with respect until they don't deserve it. And it's not based on how they look. It's not based on what they drive. It's not based on where they live. It's based on how you interact with that person. It's that simple. It's now 10:25. So we went over time. So, boy, we started out hot. We started out hot on the first show. Boy, that sycophant shit just chaps my ass. And switched to all sorts of different topics. I think I covered most of it. I might have missed some stuff tonight that I wanted to cover. Next show Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have another video up, another guitar video up before then. I was hoping to last week, but I just got the amp in and I'm playing around with them, trying to figure things out. And I'm not trying to figure things out. I'm enjoying playing. When I record stuff, it's totally different than if I'm just in the living room playing. They go, well, John, why don't you just record in the living room? It's not set up to record in the living room. I'm set up to record in the studio. So, plus, how you feel when you're doing stuff for real, or whether you're just fucking around. I've been fucking around. It's like, John, you haven't been working. I've been working. I put out stuff. You guys saw that. On that same note, folks that either like this or like any of the content that I have out there, make sure you stop on my Facebook page. Make sure you also subscribe to and follow the Whiskey Cowboy Life. That's where the guitar and other videos and stuff, they go over there. This channel's for the live stream and for politics and social commentary. But in the description of the show, there are ways that you can help support the content across the board. Some of them require absolutely nothing. But if you want to help donate financially, there's a link down there. You can do a one-time payment, or you can set up a monthly payment. Every little bit helps. Monthly payments can be stopped at any time. Peggy says, good night, all, and thank you, John. You're welcome, Peggy. Thanks for making the show. Thanks for contributing. You contributor, you. Folks, make sure that in the next day or so, go ahead and make a comment underneath the show. Everybody talks in the chat. Go back to the show. Just go back to the show again and just type in, hey, I like the show, or man, show sucked, or neat hearing about this. Hey, give the girls a hi for me, just something to help the algorithms out there. And folks that want to send me something, you got a belt buckle, got a shirt, got something like that, there's a link in the description. No, you can't send it. It's not a link in the description. It's an address. It's an address in the. Wow, I can just blip it and send it. Yeah, attach that belt buckle to the email and send it my way. But no, there's an address. Go ahead and drop it in there. Send off to the Whiskey Cowboy. You want to send me some whiskey? Send me some whiskey. That's fine. Unopened bottle, please. I do not imbibe anything that has been opened. That's just for safety reasons. Drop it in there. I like a good rye or a high rye bourbon. But I'll take anything. Let's see here. Yeah. I'll see you on Facebook. That's where I camp out most of the time. Should have the Whiskey Cowboy, the ranch on Facebook. But yeah, it's the Whiskey Cowboy on Facebook. Check my comment, dabba-dabba-dabba-do. You do it, damn it. Check my content there. And I'll be posting up in the morning. I do a lot of catch-up in the mornings on Monday mornings. Next show is Wednesday, same time, same place. Judy says, good night, Cowboy. Good night, Judy. Good night, Donna. Good night, Peggy. Good night. I don't know if Gus is still watching. Anybody else that's watching that I have not said. And I will see you around. God bless and take care.